It looks like it's going to the end of it.
We're live now on YouTube and Facebook. Yes, Shabbat Shalom again. Salakia for the technical difficulties. To everybody on Facebook and YouTube. Once again, this is the Hebrew Chosen Elect Sabbath service. We'll be picking back up in the reading to lead up to Passover. We left off at Exodus chapter 5. We read, so we're going to pick back up in Exodus chapter 6 before I get to reading. You can't see me on YouTube, right? Is anybody on YouTube?
Yeah.
We good?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. And so in the meantime, everybody can get to Exodus chapter 6. We got to silence the phones too, though. All right. I think we're moving along. Okay. So Exodus chapter 6 is my screen sharing? I should be in the Blue Letter Bible.
Yes.
Okay. So Exodus chapter 6. Now shalt thou see what I will do to Pharaoh, for with a strong hand shall he let them go, and with a strong hand shall he drive them out of this land. So like we left off last, let the people go, but the Most High is hardening his heart. So we know that the Most High is in control of everything, including everything that the oppressors, that the wicked, that the heathens do against us. We can prove that by going to Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1 real quick. Let's get that precept to show that the Most High, he's in control of all the king's minds. He's in control of, bring it up to date, Vladimir Putin, Proverbs 21 and 1. The Most High, Yahweh, is in control of Vladimir Putin's mind. He's in control of President Biden's mind. He was in control of George Washington's mind, Abe Lincoln's mind when he signed the whatchamacallit, what was it called? The Emancipation Proclamation. The Most High, he's moving all the pieces around. So he led us into captivity as a punishment, and then he loosened up the bonds by having Abraham sign that. Abraham didn't act on his own. The powers that be today, they don't act on their own. The Most High is always behind pulling the strings. When you see a false prophet, that's the Most High let that spirit out. So Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. Is somebody read that for me?
Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord.
The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. Go ahead.
And as a mighty river of water, he turneth it whither he will.
So he said, as the rivers of water, they turn, they go left or right, they come down the mountain, same way the Most High, he turns the king's heart. So whatever the king is thinking is his mind to do, if the Most High thinks that, okay, it's time to, okay, now you're going to free my people, or you're going to start to, throw babies in the water. The Most High, he's moving the king's heart in what way it should go. So the king can't act on his own. Read that one more time. Pull it up.
Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord, but Yahweh, as a mighty, as the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will.
He turns it whithersoever he will. So back to Exodus chapter 6, Pharaoh he's gonna let the people go, but then he ain't. He's letting the people go, but then he ain't. That's the Most High. The Most High is just moving pieces to do his will. And we read in Romans that he hardened Pharaoh's heart just to destroy him. So the same way with Esau today, he's hardening his heart to destroy him. I'm frozen?
Yeah, you frozen. You been frozen for the last 5 minutes.
I'm live.
Huh? You're live though? All right, I'm gonna keep on going. It's live on YouTube. YouTube's back.
That's why I'm on
Okay.
YouTube.
Yeah, so but that was the point. The Most High, he controls the king's heart. He controls the powers that be. So he's hardening Pharaoh's heart to have his will be done to destroy Pharaoh. Verse 2, Exodus chapter 6. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and said unto him, I am Yahweh. And I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty. But by my name of, it says Jehovah, but we know it's Yahweh.
Yes, sir.
Was I not known to them? And I've also, the screen's about to cut off. And I have also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, wherein they were strangers. And I have also heard the groaning of the children of Israel, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage, and I have remembered my covenant. Wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am Yahweh, and I will bring you out from under the burden. Where am I at? Verse 6. Wherefore, verse 6. I'll bring on it. Wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am Yahweh, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be your God, and you shall know that I am Yahweh, your God, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. And I will bring you in unto the land concerning the which I did swear to give it to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, and I will give it you for a heritage. I am Yahweh. And Moses spake so unto the children of Israel, but they hearkened not unto Moses for anguish of spirit, and for the cruel bondage. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Go in, speak unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, that he let the children of Israel go out of his land. And Moses spake before Yahweh, saying, Behold, the children of Israel have not hearkened unto me. How then shall Pharaoh hear me, who am of uncircumcised lips? And Yahweh spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, and gave them a charge unto the children of Israel, and unto Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, to bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. These be the heads of their fathers' houses, the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, Hanok and Palu, Hezron and Carmi. These be the families of Reuben. We can actually, since we're pressed for time, we can drop down to verse 28. 6 and 28. Come. And it came to pass on the day when Yahweh spake unto Moses in the land of Egypt, that Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, I am Yahweh, speak unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, all that I say unto thee. And Moses said before Yahweh, Behold, I am of uncircumcised lips, and how shall Pharaoh hearken unto me?
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
That's like the Most High choosing one of us, prophets, and the Most High bring it up to date and going to President of the United States. Come, the Most High is telling Moses, go into Pharaoh. If you don't understand what that would appear like to be, it's like one of us, the Most High charging one of us to go to the President of the United States.
Right.
Come.
Come. So chapter 7. Are we still good on YouTube?
Mhm.
Okay. Chapter 7. And Yahweh said unto Moses, see, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that I may lay my hand upon Egypt, and bring forth mine armies and my people, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt by great judgments. So see, the whole purpose, like I said before, is the whole purpose of hardening Pharaoh's heart. He's ready to destroy Pharaoh. So he's going to do all these things. Not just that, he's going to do all these things also to show us the power that he has. Because we always go astray. We follow what the heathen do. We always want to follow, the ways of the heathen. So he's going to do all these judgments to also show us his powers. Right. Because the Jews require a sign. See that?
Right. He's going to bring those signs back.
Right.
This
exactly.
Is Egypt.
This the second Egypt.
Signs that Moses used by the power of the Most High, he's going to bring those same signs back to this modern day Pharaoh. Yeah. And like you say, he's hardening modern day Pharaoh's heart also. Yeah. That's why the Most High is going to allow them to do what they're doing. Like over there in the so-called Middle East, in Ukraine. Yeah. They're bringing all these wars and everything, and it's going to be, and they're going to win because the Most High is hardening their hearts to make it appear like, okay, so they're gonna bring in their Luciferian doctrine and their Satanism world. They're gonna bring, so in their minds they're gonna bring it in until the very end. That'll be it. Yeah.
Verse 5. And the Egyptians shall know that I am Yahweh when I stretch forth my hand upon Egypt and bring out the children of Israel from among them. And Moses and Aaron did as Yahweh commanded, so did they. And Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron 83 years old, when they spake unto Pharaoh. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, show a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, take thy rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did as Yahweh had commanded.
Right, actually, what's the score? Everybody know what the score is?
20 years.
20 years, yeah. So Moses was 80. Aaron was 83.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as Yahweh commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. Now the magicians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments. So the magicians, they was able to turn their rods into snakes as well.
So these all got power?
Right.
Witchcraft.
Power,
right.
On the left-hand side, they have power. So it's witchcraft, but they have power.
Yes, sir.
For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods. See that? And the same as Esau. Esau got their left-handed powers, their left-handed knowledge, but we got the powers of the Most High behind us, and we got the knowledge of the Most High.
Right.
Yeah, right-hand power.
The right-hand powers.
They use warlocks and witches and wizards and all that for their power. They showed that in the Wizard of Oz, right?
Yeah. Right.
But they have it, huh?
Yeah, they do.
And for them, it works for them.
Yeah, and it's real.
For them to put crack out, AIDS and all that, to kill people, all that witchcraft works.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because you got to remember, they have to pray over that stuff to Satan for it to really work on that level. So this is what these, same thing in ancient Egypt, those magicians and all that, they had to pray to Satan to get that power.
I read up on it.
So on the righteous side, for us to get the power, what do we got to do? Same thing. They got to go to the Most High for it. So power and prayer, right, Con?
Yes, sir.
So on a high level, you don't even need spiritual power, like casting out demons or whatever. All you gotta do is pray to the Most High. That's enough power right there to destroy Esau.
Yeah.
If you just pray to the Most High, that's enough power to destroy him. But we're looking for all this other power. We don't need all that. Just pray to the Most High. That's enough power right there.
Prayer draws you nigh.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
Yeah, and real quick, go to Matthew 4 on that. Because Esau, he's got Satan backing him. Right? So, you know, where he get the knowledge to put the crack in the community, where he get the knowledge to come up with the false medical, you know, stuff that he got out, the vaccines and all these different, you know, these different enchantments, right? Yeah. So, you know, it's Satan. It's the left-hand spirits. They put it in him to give him that knowledge. Matthew 4 and 8. Let's go to 8. This is the devil tempting Yahushua. He said, again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. And saith unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. You see that? So Satan is giving Esau all the knowledge, all the power, all the kingdoms of the world. That's why he's in charge. That's why he runs the earth. And in other places says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Right? So he's getting all this from Satan. And that's who he worships. So how's he gonna be saved? He's bowing down to Satan. He's worshiping Satan. He's got the mark. Right? He's done for. Book of Obadiah says the whole mountain of Israel will be destroyed. So that's where he gets the knowledge of all these different enchantments and witchcrafts from Satan himself, right? Back to Exodus.
The example of Yahushua, remember, Yahushua always prayed to the Most High. He always went off to pray. That's where the power source of that, right? In your prayer. So,
like recharging.
Right. It's like recharging. So that's the same. So that's the example. Same thing we got to do today. It's to pray to the Most High. So to defeat your enemy, always go to, like David wrote those Psalms. Why? Because he knew it was power by praying to the Most High, crying to the Most High. And the Most High comes out of the heaven with the angels like fire, huh? Right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's how the Most High came to Israel like fire. But now it's like we're estranged from the Most High because we don't pray enough or we don't pray in the right manner.
Right.
To the Most High, yeah. To the Most
No,
High,
we pray.
Yeah.
We go to the Most
correct.
High, but not correctly, same way we did sacrifices.
Right.
We'll pray for forgiveness, but then turn around back and do the same things that we want forgiveness for. We'll pray with a wicked mind and a wicked heart.
So we bring our things to the altar, and then when it's over, we take some stuff off.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the same way when we brought sacrifices, we were supposed to bring them, not continuing in wickedness. We were supposed to have changed our ways. It's the same way which you offering prayers, but he said he doesn't hear sinners. So that's not everybody sins. So that's not saying, well, that don't mean he doesn't hear nobody. But you're supposed, he calls all men to repent, right?
You know the difference between
right.
sincere
But if so if you're in sin though, he's not hearing you. You're praying in vain. Or if we had the temple, you're bringing sacrifices, you're bringing those things in vain.
and the sacrifices come without
Right.
blemish.
Because it said he doesn't need our sacrifices. He said he hates our sacrifices, not because, see, some people will take that as, well, he just hates sacrifice altogether. He gave us sacrifices. It's not that he hates sacrifices. He don't need them. So if you come in and bringing them and your mind ain't right and your ways ain't right, he's not accepting them. But what we do all the time, we would bring them and we would bring them in wickedness, thinking that that's going to appease the Most High. So same thing with prayers. You can pray all day and think, oh, well, I'm a prayer warrior. That's what the Christians got. They got the thing, I'm a prayer warrior.
They're deceived.
You know, yeah, they're deceived. And they're also, they're praying, but they're not even praying. praying to the Most High. They're praying to remember that image that's in their mind.
Yeah,
So
that false narrative.
Right, and also that image though,
Yeah,
literally,
and-
like when they close their eyes and they think God needs this, that, give me a new car this week. They in their mind they're seeing that picture. They're seeing Caesar both here,
Right.
literally. That's
you got to come with a clean heart. That's why David asked for a clean heart.
Yeah.
So if you come with that sacrifice
You said
and your mind and your spirit is not clean,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
then it's like null and void. That's why the Most High said, I'm gonna do away with them sacrifices. I don't need them anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Most High said, I created the heavens and earth. I created the cows and the cattle on 1,000 hills. What do I need from man? I don't need nothing from you.
Yes,
The earth is my footstool. So he don't need man really for nothing. He said, Moses, get away with Israel. Let me break these rocks over here. They'll do what I say. Moses said, no, Moses, because the nation's going to think you only brought them into the wilderness just to destroy them. First time Moses ever listened to a man. So, but still, you got to come with a clean heart.
Yeah.
And so this is why sometimes same old thing. So that's why the Most High had to do away with sacrifice and only had one major sacrifice, which was Yahushua, to do away with all the other madness that we were doing. So we got a lot to learn, man, how to deal with the Most High. A lot. And we're the chosen. We still got a lot to learn.
Yes,
you know,
it's important.
It's important.
We don't want to be where we started off.
No. Most High, I swear, Most High said, Israel, you forgot your first love.
Yeah.
You don't remember your first love.
Yeah.
It's like we don't remember the Most High no more. Don't remember what the Most High did. Go ahead.
So we left off verse 13. And he hardened Pharaoh's heart that he hearkened not unto them, as Yahweh has said. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. He refuseth to let the people go. Get thee unto Pharaoh in the morning. Lo, he goeth out unto the water. And thou shalt stand by the river's brink against thee come. And the rod which was turned to a serpent shalt thou take in thine hand. And thou shalt say unto him, Yahweh, God of the Hebrews, have sent me unto thee, saying, let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto thou wouldest not hear.
Yeah.
Thus saith Yahweh, in this thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in mine hand upon the waters which are in the river.
Remember, it was easy. It's easy for them to let us go, even during these times now, when they let us so-called gave us that 1865 and let us go out of slavery. They were thinking about letting us go back to Africa. Understand? But again, remember Marcus Garvey had to back the Africa movement and all that. But why can't they let us go? Well, yeah. But they know that we're going to do what? Yeah, or return back to the Most High. We're going to go back to the Most High. They don't want us to go back to, because they know the end of Esau is what? The beginning of Jacob. They can't allow us to begin to return back to the Most High in righteousness. They can't allow that, because that's it for them. So that's why they really can't, like the Nation of Islam, let's separate and get our own land. Well, they don't want to do that. No. And everybody, well, how come they don't do that? They don't want us in the neighborhoods. They don't want us around them. They want to divide everything and separate us. You know what I'm saying? But how come they won't let us go? Just give us a piece of land and let us go.
Yeah.
But why can they do that? Because we just read it.
Yeah.
Pharaoh don't want to let you go because they know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good point, because it even takes us back to the beginning of the reading in Exodus. It said that they multiply and they might join unto our enemies. Yeah. So today, though, the Edomites, they're not really so much worried us to go into their enemies. They know that if we return to the Most High, that He's going to give us the kingdom back. It's going to be the end of their kingdom. They know that Ezekiel 25 will come to be, which says that He's going to make the Israelites tread down Edomites. Yeah. Right? And also,
The numbers are diminishing.
yeah, right. And you had said, what was the last point you had said?
Well, I'm saying this modern day Pharaoh
Right.
can't let us go. And the brother raised the question about the economy, because they know the economy will fall.
All right, that's the point. Okay.
Yeah.
So also, so they hate us, but they don't want us around, but they don't want us to leave.
Right.
Well, how are they going to gentrify a community if they don't have us in the communities to raise the value?
Exactly.
Then they move us to another community, let us raise the value of it. So it's that's where that love hate is. Like, okay, we hate them, but they gonna get in this neighborhood, they're gonna raise the value. Now we're gonna send them to another neighborhood that we're done with, let them raise the value of it, and it's gonna be the same
It's a
thing
money
again.
thing, too.
The money.
No, we have a tendency to diminish the value of it. And then when we're done with it, they run inside it and gentrify it.
Right.
And they can triple the amount. Look at South Street.
Exactly.
I had a chance to buy 10 houses on South Street, but I couldn't see the vision.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, I'll sell to somebody else. Sure enough, sold all them properties for like 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 each.
Right. Like I saw they're
I
selling
couldn't see that far down the road.
in Philly or Baltimore, they're selling like rose homes for like $1.
Yeah.
Just so they know who's not going to buy them. Like we would love that price, but they're $1 because they're going to take somebody to invest in them. So we can afford that $1, but we can't afford to make them livable.
Yeah.
So who's going to come in and buy them up? The contractors,
Yeah.
right? Or the city or whoever.
Yeah.
They're going to buy them. They're going to fix them up. They're going to get that money.
Houses. I remember.
Yeah, and they still going on.
It's still going on.
Yeah, so you was saying something back.
I'm saying about the fear. What they fear most is that if we separate, we'll be able to outcreate more weapons than them.
Right.
You know?
Well, no, they don't care about
They'll just
that.
jump on
They
the
got
bomb.
weapons. They got nuclear bombs. So what can be more than
How
that?
do they get that?
No, it's the most side.
Kill
Yeah,
us all.
I'm saying, but
Yeah.
they know we're the ones who create the
Yeah.
what they call the like red lights and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They with all that.
Yeah.
And that's what they're afraid of. We might come up with better knowledge.
Yeah. But they know the most side's gonna come back to us. We're gonna find our way back to the most side. Then the most side's gonna give us the power. And of course, we're the chosen. So the most side's gonna now fulfill his prophet. It's gonna be fulfilled anyway. But we know if they let us go, it'll be fulfilled sooner. And they don't want that. Because this is all Esau has. His rulership on this earth like that, because when he die and go in the spiritual world, he going to hell. That's what that was about in Luke 17. When you see the vision of us going to paradise and they going to the other part, which was hell. It was that divide there in the spiritual world.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's real. That's where they go.
Oh, yeah. Where else they gonna go?
Yeah.
There's no purgatory.
Yeah. Yeah.
In all the ways of violence, Esau has found a way to monetize it.
Right.
So as soon as violence is, if he has no people to oppress,
Yeah, there you go.
then he loses.
And
his-
I agree with that. That's part of it too. He got to oppress somebody because he's an oppressor. That's his nature.
Well, the message is that
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we better
and
get
he
back
lives
to
off the fruit of oppression.
Yeah.
Con. So let's get back though, because I wanted to start at like 12, but
Yeah.
no, like 12 today. But things happen. So we got a lot of reading to get through. So we left off at verse 17. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh, and this shalt thou know that I am Yahweh. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in my hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood." So this is the first plague. He's going to turn the rivers of water to blood. "And the fish that is in the river shall die, and the river shall stink, and the Egyptians shall loathe to drink of the water of the river. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, say unto Aaron, Take thy rod, stretch out thine hand upon the waters of Egypt, upon their streams, upon their rivers, and upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water, that they may become blood, and that there may be blood throughout all the land of Egypt. both in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone. So he's turning the Most High. He turned all the waters to blood. Everything. Think about the Christiana River. Think about the Brandywine River. All the different river sources. New York, the Hudson River, whatever river it is. That's where the fresh water comes from. Is those rivers and streams and creeks and lakes, and you got to have it to survive. You got to have it for your city to thrive. Like, how you gonna flush the toilets? How you gonna get rid of the waste? How you gonna get water to cook, to drink? All these things. He turned all the water to blood. Like, I pulled up I copied this image I found off of Google. If you're on there, you can see it. You got the pyramids in the back, and you got the river that's running through it next to the city, and through Egypt. It's just all red. You can't drink nothing. You can't bathe. So everybody's thinking.
Yeah.
You can't drink. You're thirsty. You can't flush your waste. You got a whole city. You got thousands and hundreds of thousands of people can't flush their toilets. Can't do nothing. Stinking. Going through it. But the whole time, who was it? We wasn't. The whole time, the Israelites weren't going through it. And it's going to tell us that. We're going to get to that. Yeah. Didn't suffer that. Didn't suffer none of these plagues. Right? So you got the fish. They're dead. You can't. So the fish, they can't live in blood.
No.
So all the fish in the river, they're dying out. They're floating up to the top.
Yeah.
If you're on the YouTube, you can see the images I pulled up. Now you got the Egyptians on the shore, and the blood river rolling by, and like you just said, all the fish float to the top. Guess what? They stinking. We stinking from not bathing, but who's ever left fish out that they just caught, and it just starts to corrupt and deteriorate?
Yeah.
That smell is serious.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's some fun.
That's some serious fun.
Yeah. So, and then blood is funky. Blood don't smell. So you got the blood. You got people who can't bathe. You got the fish. It's terrible.
I used to work at morgue.
Yeah,
This is God's
has
breath.
so much waste products in it. That's why the kidneys have to filter it, and it comes out through the urine and stuff. But blood can stink, man.
This is bad. And this is just plague one. This is the wrath of God. And he said that they're going to go through this again. It might not be the same exact plagues, but the same wrath. They got to get that double cup of wrath. Matter of fact, said render them double for what they did to the children of Israel.
Some of the plagues are going to be exact.
Some might be exact, right?
Some are going to be exact.
They could be exact. It could be all of them, and then add some. He could give all the same ones, then add some. You know, the Most High, He gonna do whatever He wants.
Because He said it's like the diseases. He said, "I'm gonna bring diseases that you haven't heard of. I'm gonna bring all the diseases of Egypt back to this modern day Egypt, and then He's gonna add some that you done never even heard of before. So the Most High can add to it.
Yes, we can.
No, so I got the. You say something?
It also shows you how obedient Esau is, because the events that are unfolding here is the same events in parallel that he unveils in Deuteronomy. So he learned from his curse.
Yeah.
Right.
Put it on us in Deuteronomy 28.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
he knows what hurts.
He knows.
He remembers the days of
That's
old.
true.
So I got an excerpt from Antiquity of Jews on it. See, with Josephus, Slovakia, which is Joseph. He said, in Antiquities, book 2, chapter 14, verse 294. And we still good on YouTube? It's up? Okay, so if you want to read along, you can read along there. It says, for the Egyptian river ran with bloody water at the command of Yahweh, insomuch that it could not be drunk, and they had no other spring of water neither. See that? So they didn't even have backups. Like, you might have a well in your backyard. They had nothing. So look, what's people going to do if they don't have nothing? Somebody's going to try to drink it.
You're gonna die.
Like, I'm dying of thirst. It's bloody. I'm gonna drink it anyway. So it says, but for the water was not only the color of blood, but it brought upon those that venture to drink of it great pains and bitter torment. So you ever had some real bad like food poisoning?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, I had that like a couple months ago. I was curled up like a baby.
Yeah.
It was bad. So just think, this is what they're going through. They're going through great pains. We ain't gonna go there, but I was bad. It was actually something that worked.
Yeah.
I got something that worked, and it was and then I ate some red velvet cake. And listen, I don't know what it was. One or the other. I drank some iced coffee. It's a bad combo.
Yeah.
But just those pains, I can think of this, and I know, man, they going through it.
I remember the first time my sister cooked. It was bad.
Yeah, you damn near want to die. It gets bad. You're like, you know what, I might be done. But yeah, so it said, such was the river to the Egyptians, but it was sweet and fit for drinking to the Hebrews.
Right.
And no way different from what it naturally used to be. So they had this. Most I got the power. He's gonna poison you with the same river source, and over here, they water gonna be cool. It's the same river, the same water. Back to Exodus, chapter 20, Salagia, verse 20. And Moses and Aaron did so as Yahweh commanded, and lifted up the rod and smote the waters that were in the river in the sight of Pharaoh and the sight of his servants. And all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood. And the fish that was in the river died, and the river stank. And the Egyptians could not drink of the water of the river. And there was blood throughout all the land of Egypt. And the magicians of Egypt did so with their enchantments. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, neither did he hearken unto them, as Yahweh had said. And Pharaoh turned and went into his house. Neither did he set his heart to this also. And all the Egyptians digged round about the river for water to drink, for they could not drink of the water of the river. Verse 25. And 7 days were fulfilled. So this went on 7 days. 7 days they had to go through this. And after that, Yahweh had smitten the river. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, go unto Pharaoh and say unto him, thus saith Yahweh, let my people go, that they may serve me. And if thou refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all the borders with frogs, and the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into thine house, and into thy bedchamber, and upon thy bed, and into the house of thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy ovens, and into thy kneading troughs. And the frogs shall come up both on thee, and upon thy people, and upon all thy servants.
Blood
scrolling down. This is plague too. Yeah, frogs everywhere. Look at, like, you seen them. You don't even want to touch a frog. And some of them, they look bad. Some of them look warty. Some of them look, slithery, slick, slimy.
10 frogs jumping on your food. That's how it was though.
Yeah,
frogs everywhere.
Like, look at if you on the YouTube, look at these photos, man. These things was everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you jump out the room if you see a roach. You jump out the room if you see a mosquito or a fly. It's just frogs, little, and they give warts. They slimy, they nasty, they everywhere. They hopping out the kneading troughs. Like, imagine you go to the bathroom. They love water.
Oh yeah.
You using the bathroom. Next thing you know, something hopping up. You think what you put in there came back. It's frogs, man. Look.
You got vivid imagination.
You got the frogs. Listen. You open the pot. You boiling water. They can't feel. They say you can put a frog in water. You can gradually increase the heat. That frog won't go nowhere. Yeah, he'll stay right in that boiling water till he dies. So you cooking food. You open the pot. You ain't gonna think it's some frogs in there. You boiling water. A frog hop out. A couple frogs hop out of your noodles.
out of your noodles.
Out of your greens. Out of your mac and cheese.
You know, some our people eat those things.
Some of them do.
Yeah, frog legs and all that.
Some of them do. That's disgusting. You wake up out of bed though.
Yeah,
You wake up out of bed, you got frogs in your bed.
yeah.
Sliming all over your leg and your stomach, your arm.
Move on, bro.
So they was everywhere. Verse Exodus 8:5 said, and Yahweh spake unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch forth thy hand with thy rod over the streams, over the rivers, and over the ponds, and cause frogs to come up upon the land of Egypt. And Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land. Let's go to the Josephus and tickle these book 2, chapter 14, verses 296 297. Josephus said, but when Yahweh saw that he was ungrateful, and upon the ceasing of this calamity would not grow wiser, he sent another plague upon the Egyptians, and an innumerable multitude of frogs consumed the fruit of the ground. So they also eating the food that you need to eat.
Mm.
This is also part of how he took away all the food from the land.
Right.
And it wasn't just the frogs. We're gonna see the other plagues. Got the locusts. You got the beasts. Everything.
Mm.
An innumerable multitude of frogs consumed the fruit of the ground. The river was also full of them, insomuch that those who drew water had it spoiled by the blood of these animals, as they died in it and were destroyed by the water. And the country was full of filthy slime. So remember, they slimy. They covering the land. They leaving slime everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Ghostbusters Slimer. So you get touched by a Slimer, you know, picture that. Picture how they covered in slime, so the slime from the frogs is everywhere.
Yeah.
As they were born and as they died, they also spoiled their vessels and their houses which they used, and were found among what they eat and what they drank, and came in great numbers upon their beds. There was also an ungrateful smell, and a stink arose from them, as they were born, as they died therein. So they bring in stink too. Same. So you had the dead fish, you had the blood river, you had all the can't bathe. Think of that stink. Now you got the stink of frogs. Yeah, it's getting bad. It's getting bad for him. Should have let him go. Should have let him go, Pharaoh. But nah, it's too late now. Now you in it. Back to Exodus chapter 8, verse 7. And the magicians did so with their enchantments and brought up frogs upon the land. So the Egyptians, they keep on bringing up too. Everything that Moses does, the Egyptians, they copy. Then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron and said, entreat Yahweh that he may take away the frogs from me and from my people, and I will let the people go, that they may do sacrifice unto Yahweh. And Moses said unto Pharaoh, glory over me, when shall I entreat for thee and for thy servants and for thy people to destroy the frogs from thee and thy houses, that they may remain in the river only? And he said, tomorrow. And he said, be it according to thy word, that thou mayest know that there is none like unto Yahweh our God. And the frogs shall depart from thee, and from the houses, and from thy servants, and from thy people. They shall remain in the river only. And Moses and Aaron went out from Pharaoh, and Moses cried unto Yahweh because of the frogs which he had brought against Pharaoh. And Yahweh did according to the word of Moses. And the frogs died out of the houses, out of the villages, and out of the fields. And they gathered them together upon heaps, and the land stank. But when Pharaoh saw that there was respite, he hardened his heart and hearkened not unto them, as Yahweh had said. And Yahweh said unto Moses, say unto Aaron, stretch out thy rod and smite the dust of the land, that it may become lice throughout all the land of Egypt. Yeah.
What is the word respite?
Respite, like things cooled off.
Oh, okay.
Like, he got rid of them. And it's like, and also in Sirach it says that in prosperity you forget, which I'm paraphrasing. In prosperity you forget affliction. And in affliction, you forget prosperity. So when things are doing good, you forget that, okay, I was just going through it. And you forget why you was just going through it. So now you're doing the same thing. So that's why Pharaoh's heart is going to be hard again. He keeps going through afflictions, but right away, because obviously the Most High is hardening his heart, but right away he's forgetting. I was just going through affliction. I was just going through these plagues.
So
Now he's forgetting. He forgets the affliction. Now he's in prosperity.
So that's going parallel to us because we should not forget from whence we came.
Right. And it goes parallel to us.
Your prayers can be more powerful because you remind God of all the things He brought us to, and you survived it.
Right.
You didn't have to.
And that's what we should be doing. We should be understanding that, well, all the things that I've been through was probably for a reason. And it's probably because of my wickedness.
Yeah.
Maybe that I should remember my affliction and change my ways, but we often forget. The Most High will bring us through affliction. We'll be doing bad. And He'll have us doing good. And at first we'll be like, all praise, thank you, God. Blessings, Yahweh, Thawada, Yahweh. And then what? Then forget. Like a week of no afflictions, you forget you was in afflictions.
But we have to be reminded that
Right.
God is a God of not just prosperity, but He also God.
You gotta
He allows certain things to be done. He
Mhm.
allows you to
Right.
do what you do
He's
going
good.
wrong.
Right. He's a father.
Even though He might send a message through the Holy Spirit that resides in you
Mhm.
to tell you that's not the way you want to go.
Exactly.
He challenges you.
He
He don't strong on
yeah, he chastises you. It says that if you be without chastisement, you are not your sons.
you.
So that's another one. That's how you know
That's
who
good.
is who.
That's good.
That's why you look at the different peoples and nations
Mhm.
and you see that, okay, they ain't living according to the Most High.
No.
That same thing Ezra saw. He went out, he said, he was praying to the Most High, speaking to the angel. He said, I understand that we're going through all this because we've done wicked, but these people that we're under, they do wicked too.
Yeah.
But how come they're not punished like us? Because they're not sons. Right, they're not sons. So you look, you know that the cats that's in Islam that's selling you your halal meats at the corner store, they ain't going through the afflictions. They're not being chastened, so you know that they're not sons.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to eat it because it's been prayed to their God.
Mm-hmm. That's a whole nother thing. That's
a whole
it's
nother
really
thing.
not for us,
No.
right? Because they every time they pray to Allah, quote unquote, they basically it's a idolatrous sacrifice.
Exactly.
But yeah, so same thing here with
So you defile
chastisement, huh?
You defile your
You defile your temple, yeah. Come.
7 days.
So where was that? Verse 17
Yeah.
said, and they did so, for Aaron stretched out his hand with his rod and smote the dust of the earth, and it became lice in man and in beast. And the dust of the land became lice throughout all the land of Egypt. So think about that. Think about these little things. Not just in your hair, all over. Lice everywhere. He said the Most High turned the dust to lice. You can't even number dust.
No, you can't.
Think about a car driving through a dirt road, kicking up all that dust. It becomes like a cloud of, just a brown cloud, like brown fog, right?
Yeah.
So now instead of that being dirt, though, that's the light.
Land on you.
Landing on you, it's coming out of you. Most High says, look, he made the lights and everything. Got some, see, a couple photos. Go to Josephus again. Same book, chapter 14, verse 300. Josephus said, accordingly, Yahweh punished his falseness, talking about Pharaoh, with another plague, added to the former. For there arose out of the bodies of the Egyptians. See that? So there's the lice is coming even up out of the bodies, right? Mm-hmm. You know, today, you check the scalp. We know lice to be in hair. You don't want to get lice. It's a hair. This is coming up out of the bodies of the Egyptians. And it said, an innumerable quantity of lice by which, wicked as they were, they miserably perished, is not able to destroy this sort of vermin, either with washes or with ointments. So that was bad. It was so bad that, cats are dying from it. Cats are dying from having these lice. And what's the first thing you do? Baths, ointments. Think about lices, we know it. They get the lice diagnosis. They give them a special shampoo, comb to get it out, and then you do it and you're good. Now you can go back to school, right? Nah, this wasn't fixable.
Wasn't like that.
Yeah, no washing, no ointments was fixing it. Back to Exodus 8 and 18. And the magicians did so with their enchantments to bring forth lice, but they could not. So there were lice upon man and upon beast. So even men, the beasts, everybody, right? Nobody is exempt. Nothing exempt. Then the magicians said unto Pharaoh, this is the finger of your house. And now the magicians, they can't copy no more. Now the magicians, they ran out of tricks. Now they know, like, this is the finger of Yahweh. Now it's sinking in. Right. Like, hey, Pharaoh, we can't even match this. Might as well go ahead and throw in the towel. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he hearkened not unto them, as Yahweh had said. And Yahweh said unto Moses, rise up early in the morning and stand before Pharaoh. Lo, he cometh forth to the water, and say unto him, thus saith Yahweh, let my people go, that they may serve me. Else, if thou wilt not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy houses. Now check this out, though. The flies is actually in italics.
You know what?
Italics, meaning it was added by the translators to give the sense. So the reason I put that out is we're going to read into Josephus. It was more than just flies, like swarms of basically pestilent creatures, right? So you can think of swarms of flies, also swarms of maybe snakes, maybe swarms of bees, all different swarms of anything. Most High sent basically through the house at them. So, but you'll see what I'm talking about. It said, else if thou would let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies upon thee, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be full of swarms of flies, and also the ground whereon they are. And I will sever in that day the land of Goshen, in which my people dwell. Once again, see, Goshen going to be separate. Israel, they ain't going to get touched by this. In which my people dwell, that no swarms of flies shall be there, to the end thou mayest know that I am Yahweh in the midst of the earth. And I will put a division between my people and thy people. Tomorrow shall this sign be. And Yahweh did so, and there came a grievous swarm of flies into the house of Pharaoh, and into his servants' houses, and into all the land of Egypt, that the land was corrupted by reason of the swarm of flies. So that's the fourth plague, is the flies.
Right.
Now, if you got your phone out, look at this. Look at this picture of flies I pulled up. That's a serious pestilence right there. Think about the little green ones that be on cow dung.
Yes, sir.
on everything.
The metallic green.
On the antiquities, Josephus. Josephus said, this is what I mean by the beast, different pestilent creatures, right? Josephus said, started 303, said, Yahweh filled that country full of various sorts of pestilential creatures. See that?
Mm-hmm.
With their various properties, such indeed as had never come into the sight of men before. So he's saying even pestilent creatures that men ain't even seen at that time. Could have been snakes, could have been new insects, could have been a combination, right? As had never come into the sight of men before, by whose means the men perished themselves. So even death was, people were dying off of these swarms. It wasn't just something uncomfortable. You got your fly swatter or whatever, you try and get rid of them, and they just bothering you. Men was, once again, he's still taking out people. He's still bringing death.
Yeah. He also mentions here that he's going to take and divide the difference between Pharaoh and his servants.
Mm-hmm.
Today we have Israel that are servants. So
right.
Even back then we had Canaan Negroes,
mm-hmm.
and they weren't exempt from this.
Right.
He was in their houses as well.
Right. It was coons back then too.
Yeah.
And the coons, they were suffering.
Exactly.
The coons were suffering, right?
Which shows us this end time event
mm-hmm.
coming on, that you're not going to get away with. You're not going to serve up your people and then think you get a pass and you can straddle on the fence to exempt and slide on over with the Negroes. You want to be judged, Clarence.
It ain't gonna happen,
right? Yeah, all of that. Yes.
Right. It says, "He that is joined under them shall perish with them." Paraphrasing. Right. That's in Isaiah, right?
Or,
that's in Isaiah.
Yeah, that's in Isaiah. Then there's one in Proverbs says, "Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be punished." So if you join hand in hand with them, when they get punished, you're gonna be punished along. Right, you go right along with them. That's why you got to separate from them. That's why He's gonna separate us from the enemy, right?
Yes. Woe to them that are justified.
You can't be unequally yoked with them.
Right.
You know?
Right. God to separate the wheat from the tares.
Yeah.
So they may simulate.
Yeah.
But they won't be.
Yeah. Their judgment's coming.
Yeah.
So when their judgment comes, and if you're part of them, you're going to receive the judgment that they're supposed to get. Yeah. So that's why the Most High said to Israel to put the blood on the doorpost when the Passover came.
Yes, sir.
Right, because what did that do? That separated you from the
spirit,
the spirit of death that was coming, which is Yahushua. And Yahushua seen the blood on the doorpost and said, "Okay, I'm not going to touch that because my people are in there." But then when he kept on going through Egypt, he seen the firstborn Egyptian, he slew them. Yeah. But if you, being an Israelite, didn't have that blood on the doorpost, out of stubbornness, all people do that, right? They do it today. Yeah. Out of stubbornness, so you're going to catch the same plague. Simple. And we catching the same plagues today because we want to be the same as our enemies. So you catch cancer and die.
We have a tendency to envy them for the things that they have.
You catch high blood pressure and die. You catch a heart attack and die because you want to be like your enemy.
Yes, sir.
And we seen when these events coming out testifying who Israel is, we seen a lot of us that spoke against that.
Right.
So they didn't have the blood on their door. They openly confessed that they were with Pharaoh.
Yeah, exactly.
So we seen who was that when the Kanye West event
exactly.
And all of them, right? We could see that they were unsealed. They did not put the blood on their post.
Yeah.
In boldness, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And just as obvious as we seen that,
exactly.
The Most High and his death angel was going to see this
Same
day coming. Yeah.
The wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha. Solomon spoke about that.
Right.
He said, "Not all Israel made it out of ancient Egypt." When
right.
That first Passover, not all Israel made it out.
True.
Because when you read in the history, you tend to think, okay, all Israel came out. No, not all Israel made it out. Huh?
So.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So same thing gonna happen today. Everybody ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, if I could,
Yeah.
we can see this in some of Christ's parables. Chapter Matthew 24. Let's go there right quick. Matthew 24 and verse 42. 42 down. 24, 42.
42.
Mm-hmm. Because Christ, he was basically talking about the same thing. Can somebody get that? Somebody read that?
Matthew 24
And 42.
42.
Oh, 42. Watch there, Matthew 24, 42. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come.
So we supposed to watch. That means we supposed to be separate and always watching. We don't know what time, but we're supposed to be watching. How do we watch? By keeping his ways, by following the Most High. Whether he come today, come tomorrow. If he don't come today, tomorrow, okay, I got to keep watch. I got to always be on watch. Go ahead.
But know this, that if the good man of his house had known in what, the good man in his house would known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would have not suffered his house to be broken up.
So what's that saying? He wouldn't have been cool. He wouldn't be joining in with the other nations. He wouldn't be cleaving to them. Then at the last moment, oh, hold up, Lord. Yeah, how? Nah, I wasn't really, I wasn't really feeling them.
Yeah.
I always felt like, I'm just here. Nah. You were supposed to have been watching. Go ahead.
Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Who then is faithful and wise? Who then is faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give him meat in due season? Blessed be that servant, whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find him doing.
And find doing what?
Will.
Should be fine doing right what he said. So we were talking about the blood post. Those who didn't put the blood on the post, they didn't get passed over.
Right.
So it says those that were fine doing it.
Yeah.
So we have to always be doing it. That's why. So when he said put the blood on the post, those that did, they got passed over.
Just the other week, there was a 4.4 what they call it? The earthquake. It shook in Jersey. A lot of people felt where I live. My wife reached out and called me and said, Did you feel that? I said, feel what? I didn't feel like that.
Gonna take that sign. So a lot of the world, they're gonna see me. A lot they gonna see memes, or somebody's gonna literally tell them and forewarn them, or they've heard it in the past, and they're gonna see that earthquakes is happening in Jersey of all places, or Delaware, and just be like, okay. They might even for a minute be like, maybe I should rethink this thing, but then prosperity is gonna make them what? Forget all about it tomorrow. Forget all about tomorrow. Things happen. It's just the earth. It's just science. Matter of fact, nobody around me is really making a big fuss or really moving with any type of, fear or nothing to get right. So because I don't see these type of things, everything's okay. It's all good. It's not going to be tomorrow. Yeah, it won't be today. It's something to brush it off. You always find it's easy to find reasons to doubt. It's easy to question the Bible. It's easy to come up with arguments.
Right.
It's easy to say, oh, the white man wrote the book. That's easy. So that's why people always find a way to just brush it off.
some way
to keep going about their ways and justify. Back to the Josephus, it said, by whose means the men perished themselves, and the land was destitute of husbandmen for its cultivation. But if anything escaped destruction from them, it was killed by distemper, which the men underwent also. So we're talking about the pestilential creatures. So, they once again destroying everything. And hold on, let me see what I got on it. Just some photos, different swarms. And think about if you got a swarm of bees coming through, covering everything. People, you can't live off of 1,000 bee stings. You might be good off of one. So the flies, the bees, whatever else, newly created creatures, whatever it is, they killing. Once again, they killing. They killing food. They killing people. Picture roaches covering everything. People going to die from shock. People going to literally jump out of their house.
Yeah, the bottom they go work no more.
They're going to jump out of the window and drop to 100 feet.
Yes, sir.
Without even a second thought to get away from a swarm of roaches. Distemper. Josephus said, even the men, right, were, let me go again, what did it say? He said, Josephus said, anything escaped destruction from them, the swarm, it was killed by a distemper, so which the men underwent also. So if there was any animals that escaped, if there was any men that escaped, all went through a distemper that they died by. So the definition of distemper is, I got it, about to pull it up. A distemper is a viral disease of some animals, especially dogs, causing fever, coughing, and catarrh. I don't know what catarrh is. I didn't look that up. Okay. So Josephus said even men, so it was the animals and men. So these swarms was causing the distemper. So you getting, yeah. So these, whatever the swarms, they causing sickness, right? So death.
Yeah.
We're gonna read about it, huh?
Horrible death.
A horrible death.
I used to work for women's SPCA.
Yeah, describe it.
Coming with that.
Describe it.
Means distemper. Most of the time they put them down.
Why?
Give them a needle in the arm because they're gonna die anyway.
But are they going through pains and like what's the sounds like? Yeah, the animals they howling and so the Most High was doing this to the Egyptians.
It's tearing their skin. Oh, it's bad. It's
So
bad. And they have this terrible odor.
So more stink, more funk.
Yes, sir.
The pets are doing all the what you said. They trying to claw through themselves. They howling in pain.
I think something is inside of them trying to get out. They're scratching.
Dogs can't stop licking the rear end parts because they think
look out, man.
they. That's what they do though.
That's what they do.
So think with a distemper, they really trying to get down in there like something's in. They licking, scratching and claw.
Like a plague.
The lice.
Yeah, they catch their larvae inside of your skin.
Okay, so it was probably more lice too. It was probably other new things that do the same.
Crawling under the skin.
Yeah. So this is what the Egyptians is going through.
Yes.
This is what the sellouts was going through too. This is something that you should read and you should fear the Most High.
Yeah.
That's really, we gotta remember that. That's the point. That's why I pulled up the photos and all that just to give a visual. Like think about these things.
Yeah.
This is the wrath of the Most High. You should read this and you should have a real fear of what the Most High can do to you. Because if you don't believe that what you're reading actually happened.
Exactly.
That's the thing. The Most High, he really did this.
Yeah,
Like the COVID whole pandemic, that was nothing. You know, we see it really didn't even do what like smallpox and things like that did. But this is like, think about the Black Plague of Rome, or back in like the early days of America, just the different diseases that really took out millions. You know, we saw COVID. They said it, but you go by the hospitals, you know, it ain't really taking out them numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't seeing no dead bodies, but the Most High, he really did this thing where he's bringing frogs. He's taking out people. He's covering the land with frogs and slime and stink, and the river with blood. And you should get a fear of the Most High. You should want to do what the Most High says. You should want to be in Goshen.
Yes, sir.
Bring it up to date. You should want to be in spiritual Goshen. How do you be in spiritual Goshen? Not just by being an Israelite, but by being a repentant Israelite.
Well, your lifestyle is easier
By putting
to
off.
maintain that. You stay in steady contact with them. You don't have time to err.
Yeah, you actually, the more you do, the more you naturally really shed off the flesh, the different things that your flesh loves. Like you stop coveting. You lose a coveted spirit and it becomes noticeable.
Yeah.
You stop just lusting exceedingly, you know, like everything you see, you want, you gotta have it, whether it be women or things or cars or clothes. You start to lose these things at a noticeable level. And that's how you get into spiritual Goshen. And when we go over these readings, we gotta always come back to that in our minds. That this is what's coming. We gotta be the servant that was found doing. Like today, it didn't happen. Might happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, Russia's doing this to China. China's doing that to them. The Arabs is doing it. Iran is bombing Israel. At the end of the day, okay, signs. Let me get right. Revelation breakdown, Daniel breakdown, Isaiah breakdown. At the end of the day, okay, I see stuff I'm reading. Let me get right.
Right.
It might be a year, it might be another 40. I don't know. That's why the Most High said, even Christ don't know the time.
That's why Paul said take a daily inventory
Mm-hmm.
and see what you promised
Exactly.
yourself you're gonna do. Yes.
I gotta look in the mirror.
Yeah.
I gotta look in the mirror, not just look at my image.
Yeah.
I gotta look inside.
Yeah.
Look inside my soul.
Yes, sir.
And I gotta take account. That's why it's important. I gotta be studying. You gotta be studying
You don't have a dream.
because you're gonna forget. You're going to forget if you don't constantly be occupied in study. You'll forget what you once knew,
That's right.
or you'll know it and you just forget to do it. Right? Like you can know how to throw a fastball all day long.
Yeah.
You can know how to throw a curveball all day long, but if you stop doing it, you're gonna be trash when you get out there and do it after a year absence. You're still gonna know the mechanics.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
still gonna know how to hold the ball. You're still gonna know what motion to do with your wrist. You're gonna know all that.
You can.
But when you do it, it's gonna be doo-doo.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be there no more.
Effective.
Right. Same thing with you being in the Most High,
Yeah.
being in Christ, Yahushua,
Yeah.
being in this Word and doing. You have to constantly be doing, and you have to constantly be studying. And how are you going to do something you don't know what it is? How are you going to do the law if you don't really know the law? Like you don't have any charity because you forgot that the Most High said there's always going to be poor in the land and that you should give to your brother in need. So you'll pass 10 of your brothers in need and you won't give food or nothing to none of them.
Practice that every day.
You won't even question if they in wickedness or not. You just pass by them and it's like normal. You'll forget because you're not studying. You should have, if you've been in the truth 10 years, you should have read the Torah 20 times.
30 times.
At least. True. But you that's where you get the law. And you should also be well versed in the whole Bible, but especially the law. And then you also want to get the Sirach. The prologue of Sirach says that the whole book of Sirach is to those who want to keep the law. So those instructions are imperative. The book of Sirach. Let's go there real quick. We're making good time, I think. Go to Sirach, the prologue. Go to the prologue of Sirach. Yeah, or Ecclesiasticus, not Ecclesiastes. It's in the Apocrypha.
Okay.
Get the prologue real quick. Now, this is your keys to Goshen.
It's in red. It's green.
The prologue. Before chapter 1, there's a prologue to Sirach or Ecclesiasticus.
That's before chapter 1.
Yeah, before chapter 1. There's actually 2 prologues. I'm gonna read the second. We're gonna go to the second prologue. There's 2 prologues. This is the prologue of the wisdom of, says Jesus, but we know that's Yahushua, or in English, Joshua. That was this brother's name, the son of Sirach. So there's 2 prologues. We're going to the second one. The second prologue, it should start out the prologue of the wisdom of, it says Jesus, the son of Sirach.
Oh, okay.
So it reads, whereas many and great things have been delivered unto us by the law and the prophets. So the prophets too. They all bring out the same thing. The prophets are bringing you understanding, instructions from the law.
Right.
And by others that have followed their steps, for the which things Israel ought to be commended for learning and wisdom, and whereof not only the readers must needs become skillful themselves, but also they that desire to learn and be able to profit them which are without, both by speaking and writing. See that? This is the whole purpose of the book of Sirach. My grandfather Joshua, when he had much given himself to the reading of the law and the prophets and other books of our fathers, and had gotten therein good judgment, was drawn on himself to write something pertaining to learning and wisdom, to the intent that those which are desirous to learn and are addicted to these things might profit